I'm going to continue my talk about how we're lied to about human history. Okay, so we're going to talk about how, well, I already talked about in a previous talk today about Canada and the settlement of Canada. And how, if you put your thinking cap on, you say, somebody's lying to us. Because the Canadian winter is really long. And if people are living in Canada and they're not having food hauled from the deep south, Mexico, for example, how did they live? I mean, pre-European colonization of North America, how did the Aboriginal people really live in Canada with the long winters? They must have killed a lot of deer or something. Is that all they could live on? Well, yeah. Because, modern day, if I want to go ice fishing, I've got to have a big metal drill. A big metal drill that's made in a modern fashion with very sharp blade on it to cut through, 5, 6 feet of ice, and then I can fish through the hole. But before European colonization, they didn't have steel mills in Canada. They didn't have steel. So there's no way that the Aboriginal people could fish in the winter. There was too much ice. And as far as that goes, how did the Aboriginal people, using bow and arrows or spears, kill deer and moose when there was 3 feet of snow, 4 feet of snow in the winter? How does a human move fast enough through that much snow? I'm sorry, you can't do it. You can't do it. If you see how much snow we have in Canada in the wintertime, and you have to go someplace off the road, off into the bush, you can't possibly maneuver fast enough to take down a deer. Or maybe you're going to wait there for a deer or something. I mean, grain. I mean, what were you using to make bannock? It's just that modern day Aboriginal people in Canada, if they're in the city, they go to Walmart, and if they live on a isolated reserve, the food is trucked in the winter time, or it's flown in the summertime. How did these populations really survive? Previous generations. It boggles my mind. Our winter is too long, too cold, too much snow, too much ice. Next example. Okay, I'm looking at what Google gave me for the population of London, England in history. Let's go with 1600. It says inner London. So I guess that's the main part of London City, maybe not the suburbs. 200,000 people in London, England in 1600. We're told that the railways were invented starting in the late 1700s. So like 200 years after this population, they tell us 200,000 people. Okay, so we are looking at ox carts. That is how you brought food into London, England in 1600, with an ox hauling a cart. You're going to tell me that in southern England, using oxen, you managed to grow enough food for 200,000 people in a city? You didn't have railways to bring in coal to heat those houses? You didn't have trains to bring in food from Northern Europe? Northern England? How did you do that? In order to leave your farm to deliver the produce that you've harvested, it takes a long time at the speed of an ox. To get somewhere. So there's only so far you can go. Are they traveling for how many days with your ox cart of fresh produce or fresh meat to feed 200,000 people in the inner London city? The logistics don't make sense. They don't make sense. So I'm calling bullshit on what we're told as far as human history. What's more likely? What's more likely is what Dolores Cannon tells us. Now, you listen to her, cold, never heard of the woman before, and you're going to say she sounds nuts. But I've already told you in previous talks that I've made today, it's most likely that we are living in a simulated reality. We are living in a holodeck, like in Star Trek. That's what our world is more like than what we've been told. And as far as human history goes, if you walk into one of those holodecks in Star Trek, you can't tell a organic human, a biological human, from a holographic human. You can't tell the difference. And this is exactly what Dolores Cannon tells us. She hypnotized thousands and thousands of people in her lifetime. She hypnotized them, did hypnotic regressions, and she kept getting the same information from different people. That there are holographic inserts in our reality. And that there are a lot of fake people in our reality. Ergo, I'm gonna just wrap it all up and say, it's a holodeck, folks. And people that you think are real, maybe they're not so real, not so human. How do you tell the real humans from the unreal humans? I don't know. But that's what she got. And I gave you the facts. Put your thinking cap on. How on earth did you feed 200,000 people with ox carts of food? It seems to me it's impossible, which makes me say it's a lie. So, in our holodeck reality, we're told lies to help us be convinced that it's not a holodeck. For what purpose? The people who make up these lies, what purpose? Why did they lie to us about the nature of our reality? I don't know. But all I can conclude is we're being massively lied to. Massively lied to. Now, I just started listening to a David Wilcock short video on his Instagram. And he said in this video, and he said it in other videos before, that the ones who are lying to us have to play by some kind of universal rules. In other words, they can entrap us, but as long as they are surreptitiously giving us enough information to figure out that they're lying to us, they're okay and no one's going to step in. So, it takes people like me to put my thinking cap on, to think about these things. And if I can come up with people are lying, then according to what David Wilcock says, they can get away with lying to us because it's considered available. The information, if you put it all together, the information is available to say we are massively lied to. But how many lazy people do you know? People don't want to put your thinking cap on. People want to be trained. You go and get a job. First thing you do is someone who's already doing the job is going to train you to do the job. Who else gets trained on this planet? You take your pets to a pet trainer so they don't poop in your living room. Animal training, and that's what happens with humans. Humans are always looking for training. So there's not a lot of fresh thinking. Humans are designed to be slaves. And the people who are enslaving you know this. They're not going to come out and tell you they're enslaving you. So it's like you're on a jury, and you're going to have to go with the balance of probabilities are massively being lied to, there's a dark agenda, an evil agenda to keep you enslaved, to keep you stupid. Because the people who have enslaved you enjoy having you as slaves. What's the end game of it all? Keep you enslaved, keep you stupid. Keep you serving the evil ones. You're born into a prison, but you don't recognize it. You think you're free, America, the land of the free, and you keep saying these slogans over and over and over again. And you believe it. Your belief says it's a free country. It's the way it is. You are brainwashed. You are mind-controlled slaves. Sorry to tell you.